Philadelphia, we are witnessing the Philadelphia 76ers in the middle of a growth spurt unlike anything we've seen in recent history. The process started in 2012 and head coach Brett Brown laid down the foundation right away. The commitment to player development and a certain style of play has been there from day one. The draft picks piled up and the young talent eventually got healthy. The Sixers took a big jump last with Joel Embiid playing just 31 games and an even bigger jump this with a healthy Embiid and a Rookie of the Year campaign from Ben Simmons. But what we've seen in the last 2.5 months is remarkable. This team has quickly gone from average to the most complete team in the Eastern Conference. On February 6, the Sixers were 25-25 and in 8th place in the East. They ranked 4th in the league in defensive efficiency and 5th in the conference in point differential, but were .500 because they weren't great in close games. In fact, they were the worst fourth-quarter team in the league by a pretty wide margin and had lost 6 of the 23 games they had led by at least 15 points. They were great early in games, but couldn't close. 11 weeks later, the Sixers have closed out their first-round series with the Miami Heat on their first try, grinding through an ugly first 24 minutes and putting the Heat away with a 58-45 second half to earn a 104-91 Game 5 victory and a trip to the conference semifinals, where they will meet the Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks. We knew that the Sixers had the talent to win a playoff series. Simmons and Embiid are transcendent players. This is the future of the NBA, Dwayne Wade said. We knew they had the size to win a playoff series. JJ Redick is their only starter under 6'9". The Sixers have an elite defense and they have an offense that is tough to guard. They just never stop moving. The question was how they deal with the pressure of finishing off a resilient opponent. Before Game 5, Brown wasn't concerned with X's and O's. He wanted to see how his team handled the opportunity to close out the series. There is a discipline, a maturity that we need to have that might contradict some of their resumes, he said. But we need that. That's what you need in a close-out game. That overarching notion is what interests me more than the minutiae of little details with offense or defense. Brown got what he wanted. The game wasn't pretty. The Sixers shot 5 for 26 from outside the restricted area in the first half and made just 7 threes on 28 or more attempts for the third time in the last 4 games. But they defended well and were at their best in the second half because they have learned how to close. You have high-level talent with Simmons and Embiid, Heat coach Erik Spoelstra said. They're poised to be able to tap into that talent, belies their years. That's impressive to be able to do that in a playoff setting. Over the course of the 5-game series, the Sixers outscored the Heat by 37 points in the third quarter and by 41 in the fourth. That problem with closing games is long gone. The Sixers have won 20 of the last 21 games. They've been dominant at home since January 1, but they also won the first 2 road playoff games that 4 of their 5 starters have ever played in. They came back from 17 points down in the second half of Game 4 in Miami. This team has come a long way in the last 11 weeks, further than any of them could have imagined. It's caught us off guard, Brown admitted. There is no doubt about that. We've changed our goals now, JJ Redick added, like 4 times. At first, they just wanted to make the playoffs. Then they wanted to win 50 games and get home court advantage in the first round. Then they wanted the 3 seed. Now who knows? This team is really good on both ends of the floor, and this growth spurt might not be over, because the Sixers have had Embiid back for just 3 games, HES still getting used to the mask HES wearing to protect his face, and his offense HASNT quite returned to form. I feel like there's no team that has more chance for upside than we do, Brown said, because of the youth, because we haven't had Joel for 3 weeks. The longer we survive, the longer we can stay in this. I see an upside here that we can go to a higher level of play. And I get really excited about that. They've reached all those goals they set out for themselves and there's more to come. They're the first Eastern Conference team to win its playoff series, and no team in either conference has played better over the last month. The Sixers aren't just the future of the NBA. They're the present. We don't feel any sense of complacency, Redick said. We're not satisfied. This group is still hungry. We want more. John Schumann is a staff writer for NBA.com. You can email him here, find his archive here and follow him on Twitter. The views on this page do not necessarily reflect the views of the NBA, its clubs or Turner Broadcasting.